that Nicki recorded that at the freak off in the Calabasas. She been waiting to drop that shit on me.
Meek Mill and P. Diddy did what? Every day there is a main story on the internet, and the goal is to never be it. Unfortunately, for P. Diddy and Meek Mill, they are the main character today.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
If y'all haven't heard, there's some major tea being spilled about Diddy and Meek Mill. Nicki Minaj just broke her silence, and she's exposing them left and right as straight-up criminals. This is the kind of juicy gossip the streets have been waiting for. Can you imagine the drama this is about to stir up? Apparently, Nicki has had enough and is ready to let the world know what these two have really been up to behind closed doors. She's making some wild accusations that could totally tank their reputations and careers if they turn out to be true. The music industry is about to be shook. So what exactly did Nicki reveal? Buckle up because this tea is piping hot, and she did not hold back.
Orlando Brown said Diddy's not going to jail. He said,
I can understand why he would say that.
Yeah. Can you break that down a little bit more? Why you think he said
Well, considering that the is selling his own god evidence that would put him in jail against him on the dark net to the highest bidder. Why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery? Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of all the just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
Is he protecting people or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists. But that's how they're trading for all of the flesh they sell. Which is why I became so outraged last year when the twins turned 16 and he had them dressed like prostitutes and then he auctioned them off as NFTs because the NFT that he sold them to was attached to that dark fucking coin. It was like a promissory note to sell his daughters to the highest bidder.
You see movies like Hostel. Do places like that really exist?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do the things that go on in places like that exist?
Absolutely.
Shit. It's funny because...
There are 3 women I know right now in my life. They've been in my life for 6 years. I've been caring for them for 3 years.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of what Nicki actually said, let's break down the history between her, Diddy, and Meek Mill. These 3 go way back. Nicki and Meek used to be an item, remember? They were hip-hop's power couple for a minute there. And Diddy, well, he's been a major player in the rap game for decades now. He's worked with everybody who's anybody.
I got them off of Epstein Island. I cannot say where they are in the world. What I can say is when they got into the boat, they were roughed.
Mm. Wow.
Want to know how they ended up on Epstein Island?
Please.
They auditioned to be models for music videos.
Oh, casting couch.
When they got to Miami, they had to show and turn over their ID, and they collected their passports, and then they drugged them. And then the next thing you know, they were in a storage container getting fucked by a bunch of weird strangers on camera who were bidding for all of the terrible things that were happening to them live online.
Wow.
After they made it through that, that's when they were sent to Rick Ross's music videos, shoots, as groupies and extras to make sure that they could walk around in society without looking like victims. And then after that, that's when they were shipped off to Epstein Island to be broken in and to be readied for Dubai and Moscow. When they got into the boat and I looked at them, they didn't have to tell me shit. And neither one of them, none of them, they didn't speak for weeks. But when you spend time with strangers and they finally feel safe enough to go to sleep and then they start talking in their sleep and you hear the shit that they yell.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because as you sit here and we talk about hostile and
These 3 girls that I'm telling you about were in videos that are being played online today. And they appeared in those videos after they had already been sodomized, systematically beaten, starved. But they were smiling in those videos, though.
But it hasn't always been smooth sailing. There's been some drama bubbling under the surface for a while now. Rumors have been swirling about bad blood between Nicki and her former beau Meek ever since they split. And let's not forget that infamous club incident a few years back where Meek and Diddy allegedly got into it over some music rights issues. The streets have been talking, but nobody knew the full story.
Yeah, it's crazy because, you sit here and, we got your story before where you actually said you seen what a saw does to human flesh, like having a saw. I mean, we got Terrence Gangsta in the building too as well, and he literally said he's seen the same thing, he's seen a saw, what it does to human flesh. And I'm like, I don't know what it does to a person's mind or psyche when they see that in person.
It changes you.
Like,
it changes you. There is a place inside of me where I have the ability to either see a human body as a human being or just pieces.
Now, Jack, you said Justin Bieber, and I have to ask you because there's a picture circulating online where they show
He's
Justin.
the new Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, they show him crying.
He's the new Tevin Campbell.
You're almost giving him a gateway to speak his truth of what happened.
I wish Tevin Campbell would speak to him or for him. Because the same thing that they did to him, they're doing to Bieber right now. And I have evidence. That poor kid. And all because he got discovered by Usher. And then Usher took him right over there to the diddler. And let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll. So let me ask you this, because you did the domino effect with Rook, and you said something in which you mentioned that you've seen the devil. You've seen him.
Yeah.
from your experiences, have you seen him enact his ways within a human being where you've seen the devil in a person come out?
Absolutely. And I've seen him in real time.
What?
When you're being raped, if you're brave enough to look into your rapist's eyes, I promise you'll see nothing. Nothing. There is no human there. It's almost like they're in a trance. You can talk to rapists and they'll tell you.
Until now, that is. Nicki's been holding her tongue for a minute, but it looks like she finally reached her breaking point. Something must have pushed her over the edge to make her come forward with these explosive accusations. Maybe she just got tired of keeping quiet while Diddy and Meek were out here living their best lives like nothing happened. Or maybe there's more to the story that we don't know yet.
Even in that moment, there is a space where they lost their self. They don't even remember. It's possession of the flesh. To watch a person give up utter control of themselves and allow that energy to come in. I stared at a man raping me, choking me, and I saw nothing. And that's when I knew this isn't a person anymore. Which is why the idea of picking that knife up and slitting his fucking throat didn't bother me at all. That wasn't a person anymore. There wasn't a person in there. You want to know what's really fucked up?
Sure.
Can you imagine if every artist that's ever been goddamn violated decided to settle their own score? How many dead bodies would we be cleaning up?
So that takes me to when you speak on Aaliyah. People really was honed in when you spoke on Dame Dash, Aaliyah, and you're speaking on something where you're saying, I wish that situation would be investigated further.
No, to be investigated. Period.
Period.
It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure?
Whatever her reasons, Nicki is ready to spill all the tea and then some. She's not holding anything back anymore. And from the sounds of it, what she has to say could be game-changing for everybody involved. The question on everybody's mind now is, what exactly did Nicki expose about Diddy and Meek? What kind of dirt does she have on them that's so shocking she had to break her silence like this? The streets are about to be on fire with this one.
About a plane crash and what happened leading up to it. Please, someone answer that.
Do you feel like
Why the fuck would you need to sign? A nigga don't ask about a plane crash if it was accidental.
Do you feel like
Tell me that. Riddle me that. Work with me here in this moment.
And I'm going to ask you.
A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play?
Now, mind you, September 11th happened a week later. 9/11 happened a week later. Do you think that took away from it?
Once again, there are people who did short sales on their stocks right after that, made a lot of fucking money, including Sean Carter. Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
Hey.
There were over 25 non-disclosure agreements cashed out and recorded regarding the death of that beautiful girl and every other human being that died on that plane with her. What the fuck?
Oh.
What would you need a nigga don't ask for that? And Diddy had Hype Williams a lot of balls. Belly was a money pit.
Without question. Yeah.
And Jay-Z got 10 free videos out of Williams. And Hype didn't work for free.
Ugh.
So what exactly did Nicki say about Diddy and Meek? She went in on them boys in a series of scathing social media posts. Nicki made some jaw-dropping allegations that paint them as straight-up criminals. She accused Diddy of being involved in illegal business dealings and claimed Meek has been his right-hand man in these shady activities. Nicki even went as far as saying she has receipts to back it all up.
When the Lil Rod lawsuit came out and there's the gay allegations about Meek Mill as well as Usher, but Meek Mill was the one that got real upset. He said, I'm not gay. Like he's everyone stop asking me if I'm gay. I'm not gay. And then you went in and then he essentially threatened to kill you.
So essentially what happened is we've been, I do long live streams. I'm streaming for like 5-6 hours. Like, when these things are happening, we're not just giving quick takes. Like I'm going, like even today, I bought the Christian Combs document, like the entire lawsuit. We're reading it word for word. We want to see what's because a lot of times on these sites, I've always said like I kind of pride myself on trying to go the extra mile. A lot of people just go to like, say, I don't know, Rolling Stones or Variety, and they see a summary of what's in a lawsuit, and they regurgitate it and even make it even smaller, and they put that out.
Yeah.
Well, I got time, and people want deep dives, no Diddy, and we got a lawsuit. So the Lil Rod lawsuit we got.
Yeah, I read through the whole thing.
And it didn't mention Meek by name, but there was a
Said
footnote.
A Philly rapper who used to
redacted
date
the name.
Nicki Minaj.
It was like a Jeopardy question.
Duh, who is that? There could only be one person on the planet. Unless there's a Philly rapper that also dated Nicki that no one knows about, it's obviously Meek Mill.
So essentially, I reacted to, I literally found out on stream, like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, no way Meek Mill was in these freak-offs. Like, I know we've seen the video in the pool and the matching outfits, but no, Meek is like the toughest, biggest gangster. Like, he's like a killer. Like, no way he's like getting, bent over by Diddy, the diddler. So I reacted like, I'm not even believing it. That reaction went viral. And the next day, Meek, as I said, he's a special type of stupid, as 50 would say. He's seen me reacting to it and thought, I made it up. So he's like, yo, you know what I'm gonna do to academics when I catch him? Now, previously me and Meek had a truce.
Bro, I remember, because I remember the last couple of times I brought his name and you're like, hey, listen, me and Meek are cool right now. I don't want to take these shots at him.
We had a truce, but Meek and him being so dense and being so dumb, he actually thought that I made up the lawsuit. And by the way, even after he started threatening me and I said, I didn't make it up. I said, just clear up whatever it is. But I didn't make it up. You know what he said? This is clearly AI generated. Like, I'm like, yo, Meek, Meek is so dumb he couldn't even spell AI. Like, how the hell you know this is AI generated? Bro, this is an actual lawsuit. I'm showing him, like, look, it's filed in federal court.
Right.
Nah, this is
Here's
lies.
the PDF file.
Exactly. So
the PDF's AI.
Yeah, so he basically starts, he says, you know what, man? He's like, yo, he starts going like off the deep end. He hasn't even cleared up the rumors yet. Like, rather than saying, hey, this is lies, I'm gonna have my attorney, deal with any salacious lies spreading about me like a normal entertainer would. I am not gay or whatever.
According to Nicki, Diddy's been running a whole criminal enterprise right under everybody's noses. She says he's been using his bad boy record label as a front for money laundering and drug trafficking. Can you believe it? And apparently, Meek's been helping him move weight and cover his tracks. Nicki claims she overheard them discussing their illegal operations multiple times while she was still with Meek.
Cases where I've never been in any sexual situation with Diddy, he says, I'm gonna kill you academics, and what I'm gonna do is, he says, first things first, he says, someone send me academics address.
Right. He said, I'll die to shut you down.
Yeah, then he says, I'm going to die to do it. Then it
Which
was
is
so
which is crazy. Which is a crazy thing to say. Meek
he's
cut it out. You're not gonna die to shut down academics. You're a multimillionaire with a great career and kids. Cut it out.
Yeah,
grow up.
Meek literally then tweeted out a couple tweets after. He said, well, the governor just called me. And I was just like, this makes like, wait, you're planning a murder online. And the governor calls you to talk you out of it? Like, also, the reason why him and the governor are in cahoots is primarily because he's the guy that they kind of taunt around for prison reform.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I'm down to die over it.
Yeah.
The funny thing, I always tell people, I said this is a gangster rapper paradox when they're threatening a civilian. They say this. Yo, I'm gonna kill you, this and third. And if you actually say, all right, I'm not scared of you still, because you usually back out once they say they're gonna kill you, because they're a gangster rapper. They rap about spinning blocks, Glocks, and switches. They're the killers of the earth, okay? When you tell me you're not scared of them, they flip it on you. Man, you just trying to trick me out of my position. You trying to send me to jail.
Right. He said, I'm going to treat you exactly to the effects of you influencing. I'm gay and I have 3 sons. I'm getting you Addy now. I'm coming.
Then he told me he was going to record a video and pee on my steps. And I was like,
right.
I imagine Meek just like sneaking up and like, first I'm like, yo, that's a sexual crime already. And Diddy is already into some shit that you're alleged with. Don't pull out your penis on my property. That's a problem. That's a sexual crime. You can't just whip out your dick anywhere, Vlad. You gotta tell these people. Okay. That's a crime.
Yes.
So he threatened to come. Don't come with the same dick that you and Diddy been doing whatever with and come pee on my property. Afterwards, he said the governor basically told him that he should stop beefing with me. And then he went into this whole tirade of how he's going to, I'm going to donate some, like, so I told him, I said, listen, what's not cool is a rapper like you who's pushing 40. There's nothing wrong with aging, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But still acting like, you're, one night he says, because the people in Philly have been saying, you don't even live here. Like, why do you keep acting like you're still in the trenches, like, and you're living a bad life? You live in a really good life. He lives like in one of the most expensive high-rises in New York City, right?
I don't know.
Like he just showed off about 10 expensive cars that sit in that car fix down in South Jersey, right? This guy's living really good.
Yeah.
Except he's saying that he's down to spin, because people from his own hometown said, you're not here like that. You're not actually in the hood. You're rich. He shows up at 3 a.m. in like a Maybach, driving around saying he's looking for his ops. How convenient.
But that's not even the half of it. Nicki also accused Diddy of ordering hits on his enemies and rivals. She says he's got a whole team of goons on his payroll ready to do his dirty work. And Meek? Well, Nicki says he's the one who makes sure those problems get handled, if you catch my drift. It's like some mafia boss type stuff, for real. Now I know what y'all are thinking. Where's the proof? Well, Nicki claims to have receipts on deck. She says she's got recordings of incriminating conversations, text messages, and even financial documents that show the money trail. She says she's ready to take it all to the feds and blow the whistle on Diddy and Meek's entire operation.
You missed this. Meek Mills. Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that because first of all, it had Meek Mills, it had Stevie J, they had redacted their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, my man, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood, whereas that he's dressing like, he dressing the same, he dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy. I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bruh. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the nigga got the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mills up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other shit, and he was searching for some online gay porn and all that other shit like that.
Oh, wow.
That shit is crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, you know, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
If what Nicki is saying is true, then Diddy and Meek could be in some serious hot water. We're talking RCO charges, heavy jail time, the whole nine. Their whole empire could come crashing down around them if the authorities start poking around. And you know the feds don't play when it comes to this type of stuff.
Diddy giving her lace weed and forcing her to give him fellatio. You heard anything about this? What you think about it?
What I think about the new lawsuit against him is that it's going to be a lot of people coming forward against him. Women, men, because there's men that said that he tried to make them give him a fellatio. That woman said he tried to make her get her fellatio. I think she was a Sean John model. You understand? So my thing of it is this, brother. When he has proven that he's a liar, he has proven that he's willing to hide the truth and he can't be trusted, and his word is nothing no more. Anything that somebody says against him is going to be considered the truth, bro. Anybody could come out and say that he did this and he did that. Whether wrong, right, or indifferent. Anybody could say that now. Because he's lied to the public for so long with this Cassie stuff.
When she say that Diddy gave her lace weed, do you believe that? You being around Diddy at one point, is that, something that he'll do?
When I knew Puff, he didn't smoke weed. And then I'm looking at the dates and the times. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was 2003. And I was still with Bad Boy 2003. And I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah, I mean, she also claims that Diddy blackballed her.
Well, they do that all the time, bro. Did you hear his own vice president or A&R or whatever tell the whole making of a band? If y'all leave, if y'all don't do what he tell y'all to do, y'all never work in the music industry again. And I think that one or two of them maybe became battle rappers. But they never made a song again. They got power like that, bro.
Yeah, I remember that episode too. And you right, man. I mean, after that show, they didn't do anything, man. So yeah, as I think about it, yeah, you right about that, man. So Diddy, he be blackballing people.
Yeah. He told Craig Mack, if you don't get rid of your manager, this is Craig Mack with his own independent manager. He said, if you don't get rid of your manager, you ain't gonna, I ain't gonna never fuck with you again. And you will never work in the music industry. But what Suge Knight was gonna do, you know, Craig Mack was gonna be the #1 artist on Death Row East. He was gonna be their first artist. So he was gonna take that and flip them.
Wow. So he be blackballing people. Because I always heard that rumor, but I never knew if it was true or not. So
They do it to everybody, bro. If you don't go their way, if you don't do what they tell you to do and how they want it done, they're gonna blackball you.
The streets are going nuts with this tea Nicki just spilled. Everybody's talking about it, trying to figure out if there's any truth to her claims. How will Diddy and Meek respond to these explosive accusations? Will they clap back with receipts of their own or try to brush it off as cap? And what kind of fallout can they expect if the feds do decide to investigate? The drama is just getting started. The fallout from Nicki's bombshell accusations has been swift and intense. Diddy and Meek's camps were quick to clap back, denying everything Nicki said and calling her a liar. They say she's just bitter and looking for attention. But the streets ain't buying it. The people want answers, and they want them now.
yeah, that's crazy, man. He wasn't even with her, and he was still following her every move, man. But yeah, man, I can't believe it, man. I'm still in disbelief by that video, man. Yeah, it ain't looking good for Diddy, man.
Oh.
Yeah, it might be over, man.
You can stick a fork in him. He's done. No Diddy. But you can stick a fork in him. He's done. There's no way that he could ever come back from this. He has to find a way to pay his penances with God. Do some charity work for domestic. I'm helping him out. You understand? Get rid of all these elusive preachers and everything, these TD Jakes and all that other bull crap. Get down with that down home religion. Go and support some women groups from domestic violence. Support and do some charity work for women in battered shelters. Go and spend your life and your time helping men like yourself. Once you take care of your business and get on your knees and beg for Ms. Wallace's forgiveness for putting the Notorious Big in that situation that he lost his life. That's a start.
What you think about Diddy drug mule taking a plea deal?
Well, what I believe and what I think, he wasn't just a drug mule, he was a plant. He's a CI. That's a confidential informant. He already had a case prior to him getting that case with Diddy and them. He probably already had a handler, somebody that he was just trying to work it out. And that's what he did.
You think he told him any information about Diddy?
Yeah, he got to. They're not going to give you a deal for nothing because you got caught with the drugs, because you say they was for Diddy and them. You got to give us something.
And you think they're using all that information to indict Diddy?
Oh, no doubt. They taking their time, bro. They working on this and they taking their time.
How you feel about the people that feel like, at this point, Diddy, his name is tarnished to the point that, his own kids, they can't benefit from his name?
I think because I think because Diddy built this whole aura that he was about family, his kids, and he was trying to make them great. He was trying to put them in certain positions and stuff like that. I believe that it's gonna hurt Justin. King Kong is out the window. It's gonna hurt him crazy. Quincy, maybe. It's gonna, people gonna look at them and say, yo, listen here. If we have them on movies, if we have them on this, what the mass public is gonna say. What is the public at large is gonna say about this? So a lot of people is not gonna want to even be involved in that because they don't want other people and to be involved in it. You get what I'm saying? No, listen to me. He done so much dirt to people and they kids. Why should people give his kids a chance?
Fans are divided on who to believe. Some are riding hard for Nicki, saying she wouldn't make this up and put her own career on the line. Others think she's capping for clout, trying to take down two powerful men out of spite. The debate is getting heated on social media, with hashtags trending left and right. Meanwhile, the legal eagles are circling like vultures. If there's even a shred of truth to Nicki's claims, Diddy and Meek could be facing some serious charges. We're talking RCO, money laundering, drug trafficking, the kind of stuff that could put them away for decades. Their empires could crumble faster than a Nature Valley granola bar.
Yeah, you right, man. I don't know what to say, man. You got a good point, man. Why is TD Jakes at a Diddy party? It don't make no sense, man.
Well, I grew up in the church, bruh. You understand? I Pentecostal church, then Baptist, Methodist. I've been in all the churches, man. I almost was a 7-day evangelist. But what I do know, the sinners do not. The saints supposed to separate themselves from the sinners. You could tell the difference between a saint and a sinner. You understand? So him being up in a Diddy party, and it wasn't like that he wasn't partying, because the tape that I saw, he was dancing. And I'm like, wow, this the Rev at the Diddy party? I wonder who he laying hands on, who he saved. But all jokes aside, man, the saints supposed to be separate from the sinners. There's no way that you know what happens in Diddy party and you supposed to be a Christian. You understand? You supposed to be his spiritual advisor and you up in this party. Why are you there? Because it ain't like you can't come to your church, you can't come to your office. And I know that, you are a part of Revolt. You understand? But are you looking for something else up in there? We just gonna hope that he ain't looking for the same thing Eddie Long was looking for.
You knowing Diddy, right? You been knowing him since the beginning. Like, what happened, man? Like, what made him get into all this freaky stuff? Like him making his girl look up BBCs and him making male prostitutes smash his girl. Like, what happened, man? Like, I'm sure he was a normal dude at first. Like, what made him get into all this weirdo stuff?
Bro, one individual is not here to defend himself, and that's Andre Harrell. Russell Simmons was one of his mentors too. What is Russell Simmons going through? He's going through women saying that he was abusive, women saying that they raped him, women saying that he drugged them. If you learn things like that from the people that you're around, the people that you hold high regards to, then you're going to become what they were. And with the fact that you taking drugs and everything now.
The streets are watching this drama unfold like it's the latest episode of Power. Everybody's got an opinion, but nobody knows for sure what's going to happen next. Will Nicki drop the receipts and blow this case wide open? Will Diddy and Meek find a way to clear their names? Or will this whole thing just fizzle out like flat soda? The suspense is killing me. All I know is this tea is piping hot, and I'm here for every sip of it.